Yes. So yesterday we finished with this Jalandhar Bandha, and there is only one mudra left, that is Vajroli. Although it is only one mudra left, it would have taken some time. Okay? It's this Vajroli mudra. Vajroli mudra. It is an uncommon mudra which we do not practice in the yoga class. Okay? These are meant for the tantrics, tantrics, those who do tantra yoga. No? So these are meant for them. And why do we practice yoga? That is for our physical health, improving our physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual health. So that is why we practice. Okay. They are all tantrics. So they do such difficult practices. And it is not possible also for us to do. Okay. So Vajroli, here in Vajroli Mudra, it is said that even if a person lives like a vagabond, he doesn't observe any rules of yoga and like lives like a vagabond. But if he performs Vajroli Mudra, he will become a successful yogi. Okay, there are always two sides of this tantra practices. One is the right side, the other one is the left side. Okay, the one with the pure one, and the other one is also good, but it is not meant for people like us. Okay, a person living a vagabond life also, when he does this Vajroli Mudra, he'll become a successful yogi. Okay, so what he does, he learns how to draw the bindu. Okay, the bindu is situated here. Okay, near the pineal gland over there. Okay, so when a male and a female, when they come together and when they have to mate. Okay, mate is a very simple word. It's not that. This is a spiritual kind of a thing. At that time, the man's semen should be saved. Okay. That man loses strength because he's losing out on his semen. Okay. And these were all meant for the yogis, male yogis. Before, there were not that much female yogis. Okay. And then what they do, if the semen has been brought out, it is again, pipe is inserted and then the semen is drawn out. Okay. So how it is drawn out? So it is not the regular yoga thing which we normally practice. Okay. So like this, they practice. See, if the semen is released, okay. See, there are women devoted only for this. If it is released, then they have to store it. If it is not released, what they do? They put a thin pipe. And then with the help of the pipe, you can see this pipe, they draw that semen and then they store it. Okay. So that man remains young always. So this semen is under the control of a mind. That is why it is necessary to have a strong mind. Okay, strong mind. And this semen always these yogis, they keep this semen protected. That's why they don't come in contact with women. They don't talk to women. Only during this mudra, they come together. And that time, the mind has to be very clean and pure. But nowadays, it is not possible to do such yoga, such mudra. Okay. Yes. Now the whole thing is explained here in detail. That's all. When that semen is saved, then it is called as upper energy. What is this upper energy? the nectar which is oozing out of moon. Yesterday we were talking about moon. Okay, I said moon is here, then the nectar oozes out, correct? Yeah. So I'm talking about that nectar. Okay. So oozing continuously from the moon, located at the top of the, see, nasopharyngeal. See, nasopharyngeal. Pharyngeal is this. So behind, inside the passage, behind. Okay. So this way you can protect the nectar. The other way of protecting that nectar is Viparita Karni. I also told yesterday. Okay, the sun will go up and the moon will be down. Then you can protect the semen from, I mean, you can protect that nectar from falling into the sun. You can preserve. Okay, this nectar gets stored in the form of a semen, and the men, they get strength because of this semen only. The more you preserve, the more they have the strength. During that, we had that in Prayagraj, no? What is it called, Prabhuji?
Mahakumbh.
Mahakumbh. See, Mahakumbh and all, you find all these Naga sadhus. They'll be so thin, but they can do so many magic, or they can even pull the truck. All that they can do. So the protecting semen is very important for the yogis. For actually for everyone, but for the yogis, it's very important. Okay, so this is stored as upper energy. And when it does not get, so this you can have in the Kechari Mudra, inserting the tongue into the nasopharyngeal and then protecting that, and Viparita Karni. Okay. And what is that lower energy? If the semen gets wasted, if it comes out of the body. Okay. So most of the times what happens? The semen comes out of the body because the persons concerned, they get mentally agitated. That is why. Okay. So this is not this thing. So we won't talk about it much. Okay. So that was Vajroli. Okay. Now Sahajoli. Okay. Sahajoli, you can say it is another variation of Vajroli. Here you have two types, Sahajoli and Amroli. Okay, they both are variations of Vajroli. Okay, in Vajroli, you require both male and female, and after the that mating activity, after that, they smear their body with the ashes made of cow dung. Okay, so that is the now in Amroli, it is a complementary practice of Vajroli. Okay, it is the opposite. It's complementary practice of Amroli, and this is very popular among the tantrics. See, basically these things only tantrics do. Tantric, those who do pursue tantra yoga seriously, no, only they do. Okay, here what they do, they drink their own urine. Okay, afterwards, in the, I think 70s or 80s, this particular activity became popular as auto-urine therapy. Auto-urine therapy is one has to drink one's own urine. Okay, you may feel very dirty at first, but I'll tell you. So this used to be practiced only by the tantrics. Okay, tantrics. Okay, now here, when the urine comes out, in India, it is also known as Shivambu Kalpa. Okay, drinking one's own urine. Okay, now the first part, when the urine comes out, the initial part, the first part, it is not worth drinking because it contains toxins. The first part of the urine, it contains more of acid, okay, and other waste material. And the last part of the urine, that is also useless. because it doesn't have any essence. Okay. But what about the middle part of the urine? The middle part, it has all the essences and it has the curative properties, only the middle part of the urine. Okay. So the purpose of drinking in those days, the purpose of drinking one's own urine is a complementary practice to Vajroli. Complementary practice. After doing Vajroli as a complementary practice, they drink their own urine. Okay. Acha. Then what it is said, okay, between Ganga and Yamuna, that is Ida and Pingala. I always told you, this is Ida. Left is Ida, right is Pingala. Left is Ganga, right is Yamuna. Okay. Between that is the Kundalini undergoing austerities. Now, what is this Kundalini? Kundalini is a Shakti. It is a power. That power is sleeping right now. Okay, it is a Shakti, it is a power which is sleeping right now. Through all these practices, you are awakening that Shakti. It is like a lady who is sleeping, and she wants to wake up and meet her Lord. Where is her Lord Shiva? Lord Shiva is here in Kedarnath. So she wants to wake up and meet her Lord. So we have to wake her up. So we use all these yogic techniques of mudras, bandhas. Okay, we use all these yogic techniques to awaken that Kundalini Shakti. Okay. And here it is given the highest abode as Vishnu. Okay. In some books, they say that this is the Kedarnath, Shiva. And here it is told it is the highest abode of Vishnu. Okay. Then the last mudra is Shakti Chalini Mudra. Okay. Shakti. Shakti means, just now I said, right? Kundalini. That is only called Shakti. Chalini. Chalini means to move. Okay. The Shakti Chalini means you have to move that Shakti. Okay. The Shakti, that Kundalini Shakti is there inside and you have to move. How will you move? By these different mudras and bandhas, and this is also one of those mudras. Okay, so before proceeding to Kundalini, we are supposed to practice all these mudras. Okay, this is there inside us, but it is sleeping now. By doing this, we awaken it. Okay, now there are different names for Kundalini Shakti. There are different names. Though these can come in, what do you call, MCQs, the different names. So you should be able to identify. Kundalini, Kutilangi, Bhujangini, Shakti, Ishwari, Kundali, Arundhati. These are 7 different names, or you can say synonyms of Kundalini. So you just remember these names. It can come in any MCQs only. I'm talking about the theory. Okay. Now, in Hatha Yogapradipika, there are still some more words used for Kundalini. Okay. There is still some more words. Okay. What are those words? Balaranda. There are still some more words used for Kundalini. That is Balaranda, Tapaswini. Okay. These are all again synonyms of Kundalini, different names for Kundalini. Fanavati, Bhujangi. Okay. Along with these 7 names, you can add these names also. Okay. So you should be able to identify in the MCQs. Okay. Different names of Kundalini. Okay. In this way, we find still more names of Kundalini. Okay. There are there. In which book? In Rudrai Mala Tantra. In Rudrai Mala Tantra, in the 36th chapter, we find 1000 names of Kundalini. But right now, we are concerned only with Hatha Yogapradipika. Okay, in Hatha Yogapradipika, all these names are there. The 7 names. In addition to that, these 4 names. Okay, so Shakti Chalini Mudra. Okay, Shambhavi Mudra. In Shambhavi Mudra, what we do? You can see here the eyeballs, they come here and we stare at this point. Okay, Shambhavi Mudra. In some text, they call this also as Shambhavi Mudra. Okay. And here also, after closing your eyes, you have to bring the eyeballs here. And then do this. Okay, Shambhavi Mudra. Okay, but this Shambhavi Mudra is not mentioned among those 10 mudras, right? Yesterday we studied all the 10 mudras, correct? This particular Shambhavi Mudra is not a part of those 10 mudra. This is a separate mudra and it is mentioned in Hatha Yogapradipika. Okay? But it is not mentioned in the shloka. Okay. Now, all this we have studied, these mudras. Okay, only you have to, this is a revision of those mudras. You have to only remember this. Okay? In Mahamudra, the benefit will be destroy Mahaklesha. Mahaklesha is avidya. Okay? And it destroys leprosy and spleen related disease, enlargement of spleen. Okay? And you also get Mahasiddhi. Okay, but you have to observe Pathya, Apathya. Remember what is Pathya, Apathya? We studied in the first chapter. Pathya means the food conducive for the yogi to eat. And Apathya is the food which is not conducive. They are not supposed to eat. Okay, again, Mahaveda, this is just a, what do you call, a revision. Kechari, supposed to be the best mudra. Best asan, you remember the first one I taught you? Siddhasan. So best mudra is Kechari. And best kumbhak, what is the best kumbhak? Best kumbhak is Keval. And Viprita Karni, Vajroli, again there are 2 types which I already showed you. And Shakti Chali. And these bandhas are a part of the mudras. These are mentioned. Although they are called bandha, it is a part of the mudras section. Okay, mudras. So you have Mahabandha, okay, where you apply all the 3 bandhas and you get Mahasiddhi. Okay. And Udyan Bandha, remember, Mahakaga. Mahakaga means the bird is flying upwards. As I said, and Mrityu, Matanga, Kesari. Mrityu, Mahakaga. See, the Mahakaga, the bird flying up. Bird means, here it is Prana. Prana is flying upwards. I already told you. The door is locked. Anal muscles, they are locked. This is locked. This is also locked. Everything is locked. So the apana which has to flow downwards, it goes upwards. Okay. And another important benefit, Mrityu Matanga Kesari. You can win over the death. Okay. Mula Bandha. Again, in Mula Bandha, Prana and Apana unite. Okay, Prana and Apana. I again spoke to you about Prana yesterday. Prana is upward flowing. Apana is downward flowing. So when you lock the anal muscles in Mula Bandha, the downward flowing prana, that is apana, will come upwards and try to meet with prana. Okay, Jalandhar Bandh. This also we did yesterday. And Shambhavi Mudra, only this mudra is not mentioned among these 10 mudras. It's not mentioned. It is separately mentioned in the 4th chapter, shloka number 36. It is separately mentioned over there. Okay. Now, all these have been explained by Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva here in Hatha Yogapradipika, he is called as Adi Nath. He was the one who started Hatha Yoga. So Adi, he was the first one, Adi. So he is called Adi Nath. Okay. Now this Adi Nath, Lord Shiva, has explained 8 kinds of siddhis, Ashta siddhis, or different powers, or different kinds of divine wealth. Okay. Now, what are those different kinds of divine wealth? I discussed with you Ashtasiddhi before, right? All those Ashtasiddhis are mentioned here. Anima. Okay. This is the first say. Ashtasiddhi. Siddhi means powers. Okay. The power to become small like an atom. It is called anima. That word is called anima. The power to become small like an atom. Mahima, okay? The power to become huge. So you should always remember Hanumanji, that is God with the monkey face, Hanumanji. He has all these powers, okay? He became very small. When he wanted to enter inside Lanka, he became very small, okay? Mahima, huge. When Lakshman, Lord Rama's brother, his name is Lakshman. Okay. When he fainted, he became unconscious. He was fighting with Ravana's son, right? He became unconscious. So the doctor, Vaidya, doctor told him that you go and get Sanjeevani Muti. Sanjeevani is a herb. So Hanumanji went flying. He could not identify that Sanjeevani Bhuta. So what he did, he became very big, huge, bigger than the mountain. He could not identify. So what did he do? He carried the whole mountain in his hand and he came to Sri Rama, Lord Rama. So Garima, Garima to become as light as even cotton. Okay, like you become like either like cotton or you can become heavy like mountains. Okay, Lagima. Okay. Okay, I'll correct it later. Afterwards, I'll correct. Okay, Lagima. Okay, Lagima is very light. Or, okay, when you're light, okay, I think you have switched on your, Prabhuji, you have switched on your edit. Okay, doesn't matter. I will drop it. Okay, Lagima. Become very light. Okay. Prapti. Okay, Prapti. What is Prapti? Prapti. You can even go and you can reach anything. You can even reach to the moon. You can reach to the sun. Okay. So again, what is that example? That Hanumanji, there is one line in Hanuman Chalisa. Lilyo tahi madurufal janu. What he did, he saw the sun, early morning rising sun. It was looking like a beautiful fruit, orange color fruit. He thought it was a fruit and he said, I want to go and take it. So he could reach that. How did he reach Prakamya? By flying. You can become very huge and from the earth itself you can touch, or Prakamya, if you have the power to fly. So Hanumanji had the power to fly. Okay, he went right up to the sun. He almost swallowed the sun. Then all these sages, they came together. They made him forget all his powers. And then he came up. Okay, then everybody got the sun back. Ishitva. Yes? Somebody said something. No. Ishitva. Ishitva means you have mastery over the matter and the objects made out of the matter. For example, they will come to know what we have in our mind. They have that much control. Without we saying, they'll come to know. Okay. Vashitva. Vashitva means you have full control over any animate or any inanimate objects. Sometimes just by looking by the eyes, they move the object. See, if we have to move the object, we use a hand, right? We go there, lift it, and then put it in another place, right? So, if because of this Vashitva, they have full control over any animate or inanimate objects. Correct? Yeah. So, these are Ashtasiddhis. You have to learn all these siddhis. Correct? Okay. You have to learn all these siddhis. So any of the siddhis can come in the MCQ, not in the practical, but it will come in the MCQs. Okay. Now comes Nadhanu. Now third chapter is over. Okay, third chapter was Mudras. Correct? Mudras and Bandhas. But the chapter's name is called Mudra. Okay. So first chapter, the name is called Asana. The second chapter, the name is called Kumbhak. Okay. But in the chapter of Kumbhak, you have all Shatakarma and Pranayam. Okay. So that Pranayam only, they are calling it as Kumbhak. Third chapter is Mudras. And the fourth chapter is Nadhanusandhan. Okay. Nada. Now, what is Nada? Nada means sound, internal sound. Okay. And Anusandhan. Anusandhan means we have to do research. We have to do research on that sound which is coming from inside. Okay. Which is coming from inside. So for that, we can do this only and only under the instruction of a guru. Okay. So what he's saying, Swami Swatmaramji Suri, he's saying, salutation to the guru, who is the dispenser of happiness to all. He gives happiness to all. And this happiness appears in the form of Nada, Bindu, and Kala. And the one who is devoted to him gets the highest bliss. Okay. Nada means the sound. Bindu and Kala, they are right here behind, near the pineal gland. Okay. So Nada, Bindu, and Kala. Okay. So this is the meaning of Nadhanu Sandhan. Okay. Now, this sound, like for example, I'm speaking, so the sound is produced. That way, in a guitar, you strike the chord with your fingers. Then you get that sound. In case of violin, you strike with a rod. You have to strike the string. Then the sound is produced. Correct? But this is the Nadhanusandhan. The sound is produced from inside. Okay. Now, without striking anything, the sound is produced. Now, what kind of sounds will be produced? That depends on which stage of Nadhanusandhan you are in. You have 4 stages in Nadhanusandhan. Depending on that stage, you will come to know which sound you are hearing. Or depending on the sounds you hear, you will come to know you are in which stage of Nadhanusandhan. Correct? So, let's go. Yes. Okay. Now again, synonyms for samadhi. You have the 4 stages of Nadhanusandhan. Synonyms for samadhi. In Hatha Yogapradipika, for samadhi, the 16 names are used in different slokas, in different sections. These 16 names are used. Again, these names are important from MCQ's point of view. You just have to go through all these 16 names. Any one name comes, you have to tick mark that. Okay. Now, what are those names? Raj Yoga. Now, the aim of Hatha Yoga is to attain Raj Yoga. That is why these yogis are practicing Hatha Yoga to attain Raj Yoga. Okay. Other name, Samadhi, Unmani, Manonmani, Amaratva, Laya, Tattva, Shunya, Ashunya, Shunya, Ashunya, Parampada, Amanaska, Advaita, Niralamba, Niranjana, Jivan Mukti, Sahaja, Turiya. These are all 16 names for, instead of Samadhi, in Hatha Yogapradipika, in different places, they have used different names. Okay. I told you this Nadhanusandhan, the Nada is produced from inside, and depending on the stage, some particular sound will be produced. Right? Okay. Now, what are those sounds? Okay. First is the Aramba stage. Aramba. Okay. First stage is called as Aramba. And what is the name of that space over there? Aramba. Hriday Akasha. Hriday means your heart. The space inside your heart. Okay. Hriday Akasha. It is the name of the space. Okay. Now, what is the yogic name for Hriday Akasha? You call it as Shunya. Shunya means nothing, nothingness. Okay. This I'm talking about Aramba. Okay. Now, Granthi. Now, in here, there is one Granthi. That Granthi means knot. Okay. And the name of the knot is Brahma Granthi, Brahma knot. And behind the heart, which chakra is there? Anahata chakra. Anahata chakra. Okay. When you have reached this Aramba stage, that Anahata chakra piercing has happened. Okay. Now at that stage, what kind of sound, nada will you hear? Nada, tingling sound. Like in temples, in churches, they have bell, correct? They ring the bell. So like that, some tingling sound you will hear in the first stage. Now the second stage, from the Hriday Akasha, again, it has already pierced through the Brahma Granthi and it has come to the Anahata Chakra. Now in the second stage, it is called as Gata, and it is piercing through that and coming to this Vishuddhi. Behind this, the chakra, name of the chakra is Vishuddhi Chakra. And the name of that space, Vishuddhi Akasha, name of the space is Vishuddhi Akasha, because it is in the place of surrounding that Vishuddhi Chakra. That's why. It is called Ati Shunya. Shunya itself is nothingness, void. This is Ati Shunya, absolutely nothing. Okay, Ati Shunya is absolutely nothing. And here, it has also to pierce one more Granthi, one more knot. Brahma knot was near the heart region. Now here in the Vishuddhi, that is around the space around here, you have Vishnu Granthi. Vishnu Granthi. And which chakra gets pierced? Vishuddhi chakra. Okay. This throat behind, on the spine, there is a point that is called as Vishuddhi chakra. And what kind of musical instruments will you hear? What kind of musical instrument? You will hear Vimarda. Beri. Beri means kettle drum. Okay. It's a kind of drum. Okay. So the drum, the drum sound you will hear. Okay. Like how Shivji has one small, Lord Shiva, in his hand, he has one small, what do you call, drum. And he does like this, and that sound comes out of that drum. Okay. Now the next, Hanji?
Damru.
Damru. But Damru, I think she will not understand. Andiani will not understand. Afterwards, I will show you the picture of Damru. Okay. Then you will understand. Okay. The next stage is Parichaya. Okay. Parichaya. Now the name of the space is Bru Madhya Akasha. Bru Madhya. Bru means eyebrow. Madhya means center. So this space behind this, there is a space which is behind this, that is called Bru Madhya Akasha. What is it? It is Mahashunya. This itself is Ati Shunya, absolutely nothing. Here Mahashunya, even beyond that Shunya. Okay, a place beyond that Shunya. And here there is no knot. Granthi means knot. Okay, now here there is no Granthi, there is no knot here. And which chakra? Ajna chakra, because it's behind this. Okay, it is called Ajna chakra. Now here, Mardal, we say Mridanga. This kind of a drum, you can play from both sides. Okay, so it's called Mridanga. So in this stage, you will hear the sound of Mridanga. Okay, and the last stage, it is called Nishpatti. Okay, Nishpatti. Here, there is absolutely no Akasha also. And the name of that space is called Sharvapita. Sharvapita. Okay. And here, the name of the knot is called Rudra Granthi. Okay. Heart, Brahma Granthi. Throat, Vishnu Granthi. And in the last stage, you go beyond this. Sahasrara Chakra. Sahasrara Chakra is over here. Right over here. Inside. So over there, that is Rudra Granthi. So this prana is piercing to this Rudra Granthi. Only when it pierces through the Granthi, this Sahasrara will open up like this. These are all like lotuses. All these chakras, they are like lotuses which are closed. The moment the prana pierces through this chakra, then it is closed like this. Then slowly they will open up. Okay. So you have to imagine a blooming lotus. So this chakra, Sahasrara chakra, they have 1,000 petals. So all the 1,000 petals will open. At that time, which instrument will you hear? Flute and veena. Okay. Veena, Andriani, it is a stringed instrument. Okay. string instrument which you play like this with your left hand, and with the right hand you finger you strike the chord, and with the left hand you play like this. Okay? So this is the final stage, and you can hear what do you call flute, and you can hear the sound of veena and flute, and then you can say that I have achieved. Okay, so this was Nadhanusandhan. You have to remember all these 4 stages. That is why we have given you as a table. Okay, 4 stages you have to remember. The space you have to remember, and which note for which space or which chakra. Okay, that you have to remember. Okay, and the sound. In the first Arambha stage, what sound can you hear? In the Gata stage, what sound can you hear? Parichaya stage, what sound can you hear? Nishpatti, what instrument sound can you hear? So all these you have to learn. Okay. Then, this one is just important. Antashunyo Bahishunyo Shunya Kumbha Ivambare Antapurno Bahipurnaha Purna Kumbha Ivarnave. That means you take a pot. It is open. Correct? It is open. Now what can you see? Inside the inside the picture, what can you see? Inside the pot also there is space, and outside the pot also there is space. Okay, so if you compare it with water, now with space, suppose if you take a small pot, okay, and you take it, you place it where the waves are coming, inside the ocean. Okay, what will happen? The pot will get filled with water, and plus the water gets overflow. Because that pot is surrounded by ocean. Correct? So there is water inside, there is water outside, and there is water everywhere around. Right? So that's why they've just given that example of ocean. Okay. There's shunya inside and shunya outside. Okay. In the last stage, shunya inside and shunya outside. That is what they are trying to say here. So we have finished. At last, one full topic we have finished. That is the Hatha Yoga Pradipika.